My name is Brian Carr. I'm an emeritus board member, so I served on the board of directors for 9 years at Family Equality, served the full 9 years, and still a member of the Finance and Audit Committee. It was one of those things that you sort of evolve over time, right? I was first approached in the 90s, and it was a position I just wasn't ready to go to at that point in time. And then I think just with the struggle that I had creating my own family, that it felt a natural time to move to the organization and provide some needed representation, particularly here in Texas. Family Equality's mission is to promote legal and lived equality for LGBTQ families and those who wish to form them by building communities, changing hearts and minds, and advancing policy change. Part of what is important in that is there are many places that you do have legal equality, but you may not have lived equality, which means you could be actually living proudly and out with our family situation. So that's part of what we look to help foster and promote. We work on the legislative front to provide protections, but then we also serve the LGBT community that wants to create families. Our signature piece of legislation is the Every Child Deserves a Family Act. There are so many children in the foster care system, and approximately a third of them are available for permanent placement, and yet time and again states allow discrimination in the placement of foster kids. If gay and lesbian were allowed to adopt in all states, there are way more prospective parents than there are in foster kids waiting for permanent forever homes, and we could end the foster crisis overnight. One of the biggest challenges we have at Family Equality is on the legislative front, and that's where so much of what we do goes behind the scenes. But we actually have a chief legal officer in Washington, D.C. who does a lot of meeting on Capitol Hill. But for the past couple of years, so much of our efforts have actually been focused at the state level because we now have, ever since marriage equality, this whole influx of states trying to pass the religious liberties bills and fighting those and fighting the bathroom bills that come up that are discriminatory against our families. So that continues to be a big focus even after marriage equality. So one of the things that we sponsor at Family Equality each year is Family Week in Provincetown, Massachusetts. And so it's an opportunity for families literally all over the world to come together for a week. And for many kids, this is an opportunity to see families like theirs for the first time. Literally, we have families that fly over from Europe, but you also have the families in Arizona that don't see a lot of families like that. So we have a week's long worth of programming, including bonfires on the beach to a lobster boil. Here locally with Rainbow Roundup, we'll do the pool parties. There's an activity each month, whether it's going to the zoo or taking in a ball game. So my involvement with Dallas Pride and the Family Pride Zone was just an opportunity to be that resource locally so that we can actually have a place that is family friendly for people to come by, learn about the organization, have a safe place for their kids to enjoy the Pride Festival on its own. So one of the programs that we have within Family Equality is the Outspoken Generation. As our kids have now reached adulthood and have grown up with gay parents, they're able to tell their story. And this is particularly effective with legislators to let them see that we've grown up just fine. If anything, we probably, maybe parent a little bit better because it's such an effort to get to create our families that we're going to make sure that we don't screw it up. But this is an opportunity for these young adults to give their side of the story, that growing up with gay parents didn't impact how they developed, and if anything, it just has made them more compassionate and understanding and tolerant of differences in the world. People were scared of the LGBT community because they didn't know anybody, and I think then the more that we're out and the more that we're visible, the more they realize that we're just like everybody else and we have the same issues. That continues to be the case with creating family and making sure that we have proper laws in place that protect and nurture our families.